Hello and welcome to the Lesbian Lounge, a podcast for the girls who like girls. I'm your host and your resident lesbian big sister, Juliet Taylor, and I'm here to answer your guys' questions, give advice on your dilemmas, and of course, chat about your wildest lesbian dating stories. So grab a drink, get comfy, and welcome into the Lesbian Lounge. Hello everybody, how we doing? Happy Thursday! We're back on regular scheduled programming, back on our Thursday episodes. It's good to be back in your ears this Thursday. Even though the Sunday episode, I thought that was quite fun, like change it up a bit. Very cozy Sunday evening, listening to the pod. But we're back on our Thursday, so maybe you're on your commute to work, out on your morning run. Maybe you're watching it on a Sunday, it came out on Thursday. You waited till Sunday. Whenever in life you are listening, hope you're enjoying. Watched Back to the Future the other day. And it was just so confusing, being like, seeing things happen and then it's like happening in time. And I'm like, isn't that weird? Like, some people now are in the future. Like, my voice is in the future when you're listening. You could be listening on Sunday, but for me, I'm filming it on Wednesday, but it's Thursday when it comes out. It's crazy. What is life? It's wild. I used to always say, if I went on Nina and the Neurons, now this is probably going to sound really dumb, but my question would have been, like, how did we decide time? Obviously I get, like, 12 o'clock noon is like when the sun's at the highest point in the sky. But like, how did we decide that, like, it was going to be 24 hours in a day? Is it all to do with the sun and when it comes up and down on the moon? Probably, but I don't know. That would have always been my question. And actually, I did audition for Nina and the Neurons. We did like a group with the dance school and there was 2 of us in like the finals and we didn't get it, and I was gutted because I really wanted to ask my question on the show, even though they probably wouldn't choose my question because it was a stupid question. But, if you know the answer, please maybe do let me know. Other than that, are we all okay? Are we all now confused thinking about time and where we are in life right now? Maybe, and I apologise for that. I'm feeling good. I have got my little studio radiator right in front of me, so I'm keeping nice and warm because it is chilly in here. But this outfit, I couldn't find a cute jacket to match, so obviously I've got my brown jacket, but then I thought, is that too much brown? So we're getting cold, we're getting chilly, but I like this outfit, and guys, it's from Tesco, like literally F&F clothing at Tesco. I'm obsessed with it. I was over getting me and Lucy some dinner the other day, and I was like, I like that outfit, even though we're trying to save money, but I was like, you can't say no to a nice new outfit. Like, it was a justified purchase because I'm now wearing it for like the 3rd day in a row. So it's a bit covered in cat hair because Pearl has been cuddling me. And she's so happy that her mum's coming around for sleepovers again. She loves having her mum there. It's all just very exciting. Life is good. There's not really much to update you all on, I don't think. I've just been going through the motions, obviously still pushing with Cherry Content Co, trying to get that business out there. Obviously podcasting, events. I know Rush are doing another event next year. I think it's in February, like a daytime sesh. We've got the Lesbian Santa bar crawl coming up at the end of November. So there's loads going on. So keep your eyes peeled. If you're not in the WhatsApp chat, I would recommend joining the WhatsApp chat because that's where all the events and things get shared. It will be linked in the description, or just send me a message with your phone number and I will add you in, and we have a lovely little space of queers, not just from the northeast, from all over. Like, we've got girls from Wales in the group chat, but mostly it's girls from the northeast, so that's why all of our meetups are northeast based, also because I am northeast based. But I would love to branch out. Maybe we need to like get ourselves to like America, to like nice warm sunny places, find like the Greek lesbians. That's where I need to be at. Let's host an event in Greece, guys. Or go to Greece in the sun. We won't need radiators to keep us warm, and we just have a vibe. Tell me that doesn't sound like a great idea. I'm getting planning right now, looking on holidays for Greece. Skyscanner, here we come. Yeah, other than like events in the works, planning, there's not a lot to update you all on. I'm looking around the studio, seeing if Jill's bought us anything new. I don't think she has. We still have our little Halloween ghost up, even though it's now November. What the helly? How's it November? Like, how has this year gone so fast? Lucy and I are officially 6 months in. What the helly? That's crazy. It's just, I feel like this year has flown by, and I feel like years always fly by. But I can like vividly think back to April this year when I was getting ready to do my first event and starting to really push the podcast out there. Then went through the breakup, got into the new relationship, and it's just like, since then, it's like life's just, it's crazy how much has happened in such a short space of time. And it's November, which means it's Christmas. Like, for me, as soon as it's the 31st of October out the way, it's Christmas. It's time, as Mariah Carey would sing. I'm not going to sing because people are telling me that I'm a bad singer, and I don't like to be told nasty things about myself. Yeah, it's literally Christmas. So what are we all doing for Christmas? Are you coming to the Sexy Santa lesbian bar crawl? I hope so. We're all going to be dressed up as sexy Santas, which is going to be so fun. I actually need a sort of costume for that, so I will add that to my to-do list. Yeah, it's Christmas time. I'm excited. Mistletoe and wine. Don't drink wine. We'll be kissing somebody under the mistletoe. Tee-hee-hee. I'm just really excited. Like, I love cozy season, like the cozy outfits, like cuddling up on a sofa, drinking hot chocolate. I tell you what I don't like, the dark nights. Actually, let me rephrase. I don't like how early the night gets dark, or the day. Like, I don't like how early it gets dark, essentially. Like, I don't mind a dark, cozy night, like under the duvet with the hot chocolate watching a film. That's a 10 out of 10 vibe. But what I don't enjoy is still being at work and coming home and it's dark. Or like, it's dark at like 6 o'clock and then knowing, okay, I'm going out to do something at 7, but it's pitch black and I'm thinking, hang on, I shouldn't be doing anything right now. It's bedtime. I should be in bed in my pajamas, snuggled up. I should not be going out to do something. But it's life. You have to do what you got to do. Like, we went to the theatre the other week, literally left the theatre in the dark. What is going on? I don't vibe with it. I don't know if I prefer summer or winter. What do we prefer? Summer, winter? Let me know. I honestly don't know. Or spring or autumn. I think for me, like, I just love summer. I do just love summer because it's bright and happy and everything's just fun. And I guess the same with winter. Like, I love cozy season. It's the best. But it's just the dark for me. And I don't like driving in the snow. And it hasn't snowed yet, thank God. If it was snowing on, like, what day is it today? It's bonfire night. Oh my God, it's bonfire night. Happy firework day, everybody. Yeah, I don't like driving in the snow. Thank God it hasn't snowed yet, because if it was snowing on the 5th of November, I'd be stressed for December, January, February, when it really snows. Anyway, I am rambling. So, I'm going to stop rambling. And I think, without further ado, let's jump straight on into this week's episode. So, this week's question of the week is, when did you know you were gay? I feel like as gay people, we get asked this question all of the time. And personally for me, I think I find it hard to put like a definitive answer on this. For some people, I think it's like, you know, I've always known, or maybe there was that like one moment that was like, yeah, I like girls. For me, like, I really try and think, and I know we've spoke about this before, but it's like, I used to always get this like feeling around certain women. I didn't know what it was, but I was quite intimidated by them. I didn't want to go near them. And I guess looking back, that was just a crush. I obviously thought they were attractive and I was too scared to talk to them. I used to like really fixate over female characters in movies and TV shows. For example, Clove from The Hunger Games was one of them. Not even like a lesbian character. I was obsessed with that girl. She was like my screensaver, my profile picture. She's probably like in my little Instagram bio of my little fangirl account. It was just like this complete infatuation. I don't know what the word is, but I was so obsessed. And again, looking back, it's like, obviously I just fancied the actress, the character, whatever. But for like actually doing gay, honestly, I don't know. Like, I just remember it was like lockdown 2020 time. What a vibe that was. I actually loved lockdown, like genuinely really enjoyed it. I would do it again in a heartbeat. Yeah, I remember I was on the train going to some like event thing every day, and I was like, I'm just going to download Tinder, I'm bored. And then I just was not vibing with the men, and I thought, you know what, I'd always said I would never say I'm not gay until I've tried. And I think maybe that was my body's like my inner me telling me, yeah, you're gay. So I was like, screw it, I'll just put my Tinder on boys and girls. and I was enjoying the ladies a lot more than the gents. And eventually, every time I was seeing a man and I was swiping, I was like, ew, no, 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 no. And every time I was seeing a woman, obviously not every woman, but I was like feeling this excitement around the woman. So I just sacked off the men. I think TikTok also was like a big key factor. Like when everyone was making these like thirst traps in lockdown, and I remember someone had been really noisy in the studio next to me. Can we hear that? I think that's quite rude. Thank you. They just stopped. They must have heard me. But yeah, everyone was doing these like thirst trap dance videos, whatever they were doing. It's like, you know, that I'll friend to do anything. I'm like, oh my God, I get wet at the thought of you. Not me saying I wouldn't sing and then singing. But yeah, like the masked lesbians doing that trend. I'm obsessed. But if a man was to do that, I'd literally be like, scroll. So I think it was seeing them thirst traps and not getting excited by the men ones, but getting really excited when I saw like a masked woman do one. So I guess they would be like my points where I was like, I've lost my phone. I found it. Where I was like, yeah, I think maybe I prefer the girly pops. But let's see what you guys said. So someone said when I was 16 years old. Somebody said when I was 11 and I fancied a girl at my school and I fancied female actors over male actors. Yes, see, it's that like, there's something about like actors in movies, even if they're not playing a lesbian part, it's just that like obsession that you get with them. Like, I never really like fangirled over like Zac Efron. Someone told me the other week, like, oh my God, you'd be so jealous I met Zac Efron. And I was like, that's awesome. Like, he's a great actor, but I never like obsessed with him probably the way I did over like Ashley Tisdale. At the age of 16, at the age of 14, but I did not come out until I was 21. Yeah, I feel like lots of people, they have the realization, but they don't then necessarily act on that realization until a little bit later on. Since I came out the womb. Slay. I love that. Why did I just say slay? That wasn't cool, was it? Slay queen. When I was a lesbian. I love that. And I was talking to a friend about fictional characters she liked, and they were all boys. I didn't like a single boy character. I thought everyone liked the girls if they were a girl, because they'd naturally be drawn to the same sex. Oops. Yeah, I relate to that a lot. I remember like I used to just love looking at pictures of women, and I would never like go out my way to look at men. I just never was like, I'm going to search for a man. I'm going to look at this man. I would be like, I want to find like females to fantasize over, never men. I knew I liked girls at 13/14, but I knew I was a lesbian at 17. When I was 6 years old. I wonder, like, obviously I can try and like think back to being a child. And again, I was probably a bit older than 6. I reckon I was maybe like teens when I was starting to like feel this way around women. So I'd love to know like what it was at that age that like flipped the switch. But I do feel like most people, even if you don't realize it until later on in life, when you look back, you realize there were always signs that you were gay. When I fancied my best friend in college, she's now my girlfriend. That's so exciting. Wow. I love that. So like you literally had never thought about liking girls. You went to college, you started feeling this way for your best friend, and now she's your girlfriend. I'm so here for that for you. Congrats. In year 7, I do feel like high school, it's so hard to figure out who you are in high school, I fear, because like there's this like lesbians, I don't know, when I was at school, like if you were thought to be a lesbian, you just had the piss taken out of you. Like, I mean, I was thought to be a lesbian. There was so many rumors about me being gay. And then there was people that were like very obviously lesbians or going to be lesbians, you know, they're like very like masculine presenting people. And it was like, oh, you're gonna wear a tux to prom. And it was like this like horrible thing from the boys also. It was funny earlier. I had a parcel arrive, and not like there's anything wrong with being a delivery driver. Lucy was a delivery driver. We love delivery drivers. But these boys, the group of boys that used to take the mick at me at school, 1 for probably being a lesbian, 2 for God knows what else, for having ambition with my life and wanting to go and do things. One of them came and delivered my parcel today, and I just thought, you know, it's crazy. You used to laugh at me for having dreams and goals for myself, and whilst you were doing that, you probably forgot to focus on your own goals. So now you're working as a delivery driver, which again, there's nothing wrong with. Like, Lucy literally worked as an Amazon driver, and I thought it was quite sexy sitting in the van. But it's just like, you guys took the mick out of me for having dreams and goals with my life, and here I am actually acting on those and making a career out of what I wanted to do. So, he was a real winner. Me. When I was 12. PE at school. Yeah, I guess the changing rooms. If you had a female PE teacher, they're normally known to be like the lesbian teacher, aren't they? I had a best friend and we would go on walks holding hands because we were just such good friends. But then I realised I felt way more comfortable with her than with any man ever. Yeah, so fair enough. We'll do a couple more. We've got when I was 13. I suspected when I was young, confirmed when men did absolutely nothing for me in bed, I had to think of a woman. I mean, that tells you it all, doesn't it? You're literally having sex with a man and you're having to picture it being a woman just so you can have, like, some enjoyment from it. Yeah, fair. When I saw Beyonce, fair enough. Finishing on a good one. When I was born, the midwife was fit. I like that. I'm so here for that. Okay, let's jump straight into some of your guys' dilemmas and questions and stories. Starting off with, I have feelings for my best friend. I know, typical lesbian, but the worst thing is that she likes me back, but she can't do anything about it because she's in a relationship. Oh, that's tricky. So you fancy your best friend, she's admitted that she fancies you too, but she is dating someone else. Okay. She is a masc and I'm a femme. So whenever we go out, we're asked if we're together. Before, when people asked us, we'd both pretend as if we were utterly annoyed by this question because everyone makes the assumptions that mascs and femmes can't just be friends. In our case, these people were right. We went on a trip for a week last month and nothing happened between us. And at this point, she was only talking to the girl she's now in a relationship with. Okay, so they weren't dating and she's then gone to ask this girl to be a girlfriend even though she fancies you. Confusing. I thought if anything was going to happen between us, it would have been when we went on this trip with just the two of us. When eventually nothing happened, I was under the impression that my feelings were one-sided and I just needed to get over it. Okay, so she hasn't actually expressed to you at this point that she sees this relationship going in a romantic direction. You think she just solely sees it as a friendship because she's talking about this girl, nothing happens, so you're thinking, okay, I just need to get over my feelings because clearly she doesn't feel the way that I feel. But 2 weeks ago, me and this girl were watching horror movies at mine and I made a flirty comment as per usual and she kissed me. Oh my God, just out of nowhere. Wow, that's so exciting. This kissing then turns into a lot more and we ended up having sex. I bet that was the best fucking sex of both of your lives. Because even though she hasn't told you she had the feelings, she obviously did. You've been thinking about her for a long time. I bet that was the most like passionate, steamy, romantic sex ever. In a non-weird way, I wish I was there. That probably sounds really weird, but like, oh, I could just imagine the passion. I'm so happy for you. I literally bet it was the best night of your life. Bear in mind, at this time, she is still talking to this girl and they have confessed their feelings and love for each other. Okay, so there's love involved now. I understand. But as they were doing long distance, it's a lot harder for them to see each other, whereas me and this girl live in the same town. After spending the night together, the next day she was filling me with confidence, saying that she also liked me and this meant something to her like it did to me. The next week she invites me on this trip and I agree to go, thinking it'll just be the two of us. But instead... Wait, what? Instead, it's a weekend away with her and her now girlfriend, who she ended up asking to be her girlfriend while we were away on this trip. You're lying. So she's basically telling you, I fancy you back. We've just had this incredible, passionate, steamy sex. You're inviting me on a trip and then you're bringing the girl you've been talking to and asking her to be your girlfriend in front of me. What the fuck? This is wild. I had to watch the girl that I have feelings for get into a relationship and shamelessly share a 1-bedroom hotel. What? This is insane. I'm going to have to read that again. I had to watch this girl I have feelings for get into a relationship and shamelessly share a 1-bedroom hotel with us where she didn't hesitate to have sex with this girl and let me sit in the bathroom with my headphones on whilst they did it. That is foul behaviour. You've literally been licking my pussy less than a week ago, confessing that you fancy me, and now you're bringing this girl on this trip, asking her to be your girlfriend, and fucking her probably with the same strap you fucked me with last week, whilst I'm sitting in the bathroom going la 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 la, trying not to fucking hear the bed squeak and the moans. What a prick. You deserve better than her anyway, babe. I don't know what to do, because I think I might love this girl. And every time she gets into an argument with her missus, she makes comments about wanting someone else and then starts hinting at me. But then within hours, the argument is squashed and it goes back to us just being mates. I don't know how long I can keep this up. She knows how I feel and she holds it over my head. What do I do? I'm actually flabbergasted. That's not where I thought that dilemma was going. I thought you were going to be like, I have feelings for my best friend. People have always shipped us and we've always gone, no, we're just friends. Then we had the steamy night of sex and now we're in love and getting married. That is genuinely, I did not think we were going down this route. I think the audacity of this girl to talk about this girl and then invite her on this trip, basically also within that time scale, admitting to you that she has feelings for you before she's asked this girl to be a girlfriend. So they're just talking at this point. So you're thinking, well, you're now admitting your feelings for me. So that probably means that, I'm trying to get this straight in my head, but yeah, that probably does mean that if you're just talking to this girl, if you're saying to me that I fancy you, I'm going to probably assume that you're going to leave that girl for me because you're not in a relationship, right? But then for her to invite her on this trip, not to tell you she's invited this girl, just to sort of rock up at this trip with you there, with her there as well, to then have sex whilst you're in the bathroom, I'm genuinely flabbergasted. But you deserve so much better than that. I don't care if you think she loves you. I don't care if you think you love her. Your future wife isn't treating you like that. You know, maybe this relationship that she's got herself into isn't the best. Maybe it's a little bit toxic because it sounds like they're constantly arguing and she's looking for something else. But she's done that to herself. She let herself get in that relationship when she knew full well that if she really wanted to, she could have had you. So I think you just need to walk away with your head held high. Maybe there can be some sort of friendship there. Probably not, because of the fact that you have such strong feelings and it's going to be really hard to act just like her best friend when you know you wish it was so much more. But I think you need to have dignity and respect for yourself and walk away, because I promise you, your future wife ain't treating you like this. Your future wife is not making you sit in the fucking bathroom of a hotel while she shags someone else after shagging you the week before, telling you she had feelings for you. No, ma'am. But I'm sorry, because my heart hurts for you. I think we just need to forget about this girl, move on, and get future wife hunting, because I promise you, she ain't that. Oh, I feel overwhelmed. That was a lot. Right. Moving on. My partner thinks it's weird that I only date people younger than me, and it weirds me out. I'm 28 and she's 24, soon to be 25. So there's only 3.5 years between us. My past 2 girlfriends have been a similar age to her, but she's suggesting it's a pattern of predatory behaviour. But everyone I've dated has only been 3 to 4 years younger. I can't help who I fall in love with. What are your thoughts on this? Am I in the wrong? Not at all. She's 24, nearly 25. She is a full-grown adult. That frontal lobe is coming. When you hit 25, boom, frontal lobe's there. She knows what she's doing. She's not a child. She's more than of age. It's not predatory at all. If she was 14 and you were 28, I'd have major concerns. I'd probably be ringing the police. But she's fucking 24. It's not predatory of you at all. Clearly, you just naturally attract women who are slightly younger than you. And I know a lot of women have a thing for women who are a bit older than them. That's just how the world works. Some people are cougars, some people like the cougar, you know? I don't think you're in the wrong at all. You haven't done anything wrong. Like you said, you can't help who you fall in love with. You've met this girl. The first thing you probably do wasn't ask her age. You could tell she was an adult. You probably just thought, I'm really enjoying getting to know you. Then the age question probably cropped up. Oh, I'm 28. What about you? Oh, I'm turning 25 next month. Oh, amazing. That's like a couple of years difference. That's nothing. Like, it's literally nothing. And again, at the end of the day, age is just a number. As long as you are both of an age where you can willingly consent to the relationship, to the sex, whatever, which you both are, because this woman is 24, I just can't believe she's saying to you, this is predatory behaviour. Like, are you joking? How dare you call me a predator? I'm your girlfriend. Imagine calling your girlfriend a predator. I think you just need to leave this woman. Like, you do not want to be in a relationship with someone that's going to go around calling you a predator, because that is not what you are in the slightest. So I think, again, we need to move on, find a 24-year-old who's got her brain screwed on a little bit more. Okay, we are going to do one more dilemma for this week's episode, and we are actually going to spice things up a little bit today. We have a dilemma from a man. What the hell? A man! So this is from one of my lovely gay friends who wanted to send us in a little story. And obviously we are the Lesbian Lounge, but we are an LGBTQ plus safe space. So let's see what he's got to say. I met a guy in the club and decided to go back to his accommodation. We were in the middle of doing you know what, and I looked down and it was obvious he hadn't prepared himself for this situation. Okay, so obviously gay sex, it's going up the bum. Maybe there was a bit of poop in there, and that's okay. But clearly there was a lot of poop if he hadn't prepared himself. He freaked out and decided it was best to kick me out of his accommodation at 3 a.m. with a dead phone. Okay, so he's got a little bit embarrassed. He's thinking like, oh my God, like I've just shat all over this guy's dick. Like, you're gonna have to leave, get out. It's 3 a.m, you have a dead phone. Not ideal for you. So I was basically stranded in the middle of Birmingham with no phone and had to wait until the morning to beg someone to let me charge my phone so I could pay for a bus home. That is wild. Like, this guy, he must have been so embarrassed, bless him, just to not even have a second thought for the fact that, like, your phone was dead, you were in the middle of nowhere, like, you weren't in your hometown, you couldn't just walk home. He must have been so embarrassed, bless him, to have to kick you out. Probably, like, go and change his bed sheets or just bin them or burn them if there's poo all over them. But I would not have enjoyed being stranded at 3 a.m. in Birmingham. Birmingham? Can't really do the accents. Yeah, you're just stranded. You're thinking, I literally have no way of getting home. I don't know where the fuck I am. My phone's dead. I'm going to have to wait till I see a human in the morning, but it's 3 a.m, so I'm not going to see a human for at least 3 hours till like 6 a.m. Then beg them to let you charge their phone so you could pay for a bus home. That's wild. But you lived to tell the tale. And thanks for sending it into the Lesbian Lounge. Guys, that was our first dilemma from a man. What the fuck? I quite enjoyed it though. So maybe we need more gay men stories. Obviously, mainly it's for the girlies, this podcast. The girlies, the gays, and the nays. But, well, the gays, that's them. I just don't say boys. We accept the gays, not the men. I like that saying. Well, thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode of the podcast. Make sure you give us a follow at the lesbianlounge.podcast on Instagram and TikTok. Make sure you send us any of your dilemmas, questions, or stories. It will all be linked in the description of this episode. Make sure you give us a like, a subscribe, leave us a review, and I will speak to you all next Thursday for a brand new episode. I love you all so much. Bye!